Okay, so let's do a quick little recap. Take up number 5, 6 from the homework. So there's a worm 500 centimeters, not long, but away from a light post. A 500 centimeter long worm will be very scary. So it's 500 centimeters away from a light post. The light post is 6 meters tall. If a bird flies from the top of the post directly to the worm, how far must the bird travel to eat that worm? All right, so you have your light post, which is 6 meters tall. All right, so the fact that it says it's a light post, you know it's vertical, you know it's talking about this way. Right? And the worm, okay, the worm is 500 centimeters away. Okay, but what is wrong with this diagram? The measurements are different. So remember on Friday we did conversions. So 500 meters is how many, 500 centimeters is how many meters? Sorry? 5 meters. That's right. Okay, and we're trying to figure out, so this is the bird. We're trying to figure out this. This side is which side is this? Hypotenuse. Good, so it's the C. Your light poles always make a 90-degree angle with the ground. So then this is just simply C squared equals A squared plus B squared. So 6 squared plus 5 squared, not 500. So you get 36 plus 25. Okay, so C equals 50, 61. So does that mean C is 61 meters? Square rooted, right? Remember, this is C squared equals that. So C equals the square root of 61. And you get about 7.8, what's my unit? Meters. Good. Okay. Number 6. Tegan is going to the movies, which is directly north of his school and west of the library. So these questions, what you want to do, draw a compass. North, east, south, west. Okay. Tegan is going to the movie, which is directly north of his school. So that means school is here, and movies is north to it. Okay. And west of the library. Tegan is going to the movies, which is directly north of the school and west of the library. So the library is right here. Okay. If the movie is 11 kilometers from his school, the movie is 11 kilometers from his school, and the distance between the school and the library is 22. How far is the movie from the library? And so you are looking for this side. Okay. Remember, what type of triangle does it have to be for you to use Pythagorean theorem? Right angle triangle. And here's my right angle right there. Okay, so that's my right angle. So that means this is C and this is one of the legs. So we'll say B. Okay. Since we're looking for the side length, that means we're going to do B squared equals C squared minus A squared. So we're doing the subtraction one. So B squared equals, what subtract what? What are the numbers? Right. Remember, it's not 11 squared minus 22. It's 20. It's the bigger one. Bigger number, subtract the smaller number. So B equals square root of 22 squared. Take away 11 squared. 363. So when you square root it, B equals 19. 19.05. What's my unit? Kilometers, right? But if I do this on the test, will I get full marks? Why not? What does it ask for?
In meters.
In meters. Yes, I did add that on. In meters. So 19 kilometers, what is that in meters? Whoops. What is that in meters? Do times or multiply? Times or divide? Times by 1,000. Yeah. So 19.05 times 1,000. Oh, it's actually hi, Annie. Okay. 19052 meters. I should have probably wrote 053, and then when you round it up, it would have been 19,052 or 53 meters. Okay. You could have converted here, and then do the math, or you could have did that and then do convert. Okay. Because at the end we're just talking about length. So if you're doing length, it doesn't matter if you're converting before or after. But if it's asking you for area, then you would have to convert it at the beginning. Okay. Okay, so this one was a little tricky because of the northeast southwest thing. Alright, but when you get into grade 10 and 11, especially grade 11, they love to ask questions using compass. Okay, so that was the homework from Friday. Make sure you know how to do Pythagorean theorem, and make sure you know how to do conversions. So remember this, okay? Kind, hungry ducks usually don't chew much. Okay, you need to memorize this for the test, but these imperial measurements I will give you. Okay? Okay. When is your test? Huh? Sophia is like, what? Test? Yeah, test. This week.
What?
Why? Because before the break, I want to finish one more chapter this week. So, test is Thursday. All right. So on Thursday, but you can see the topics are not hard. It's not bad. It's on conversion, Pythagorean theorem, which we did already. Today we'll do perimeter area. Tuesday we'll do so today perimeter area. Tomorrow surface area volume, and then Wednesday review. Thursday test, and then Friday party, Christmas party. Okay. So. Okay, so if you flip the page to calculating perimeter, the third page. Okay, so remember, today we're doing perimeter and area. So your homework is going to be on perimeter and area, not just one. I realize I have to emphasize that. Okay, so perimeter. How do you calculate the perimeter of anything? Not specific enough. So he said add all the length.
Add all the sides.
Brianna, you were gonna say? No? Okay. Yeah. Well, okay, if I have something like this, if I draw. Okay, if I have something like this, when you say add up all the sides, that's wrong. Can you be more? Outside, that's right. Around the outside. Okay? So, yes, perimeter is only the outside. So even though I added 2 more lengths in here, because those are inside, we don't care about them. Perimeter is only the distance outside. So I know there's different formulas for perimeter. For rectangle, it could be like 2L plus 2W, 2 times L plus W, L plus W times W. So that, like, forget about all those different formulas. Just remember the simplest rule at the length of the outside. Yeah. Where is yours? Okay. Are you gonna bring yours back tomorrow? And Haley, you can borrow this for today. Okay, we're on the third page, perimeter. Okay, so notice right here, they use the formula, but if you just do 6 plus 2 plus 6 plus 2, you'll get 16 anyway. And for this answer, actually, I'm going to take half a mark off. Units, yeah. Centimeter. So perimeter is always just a length, so it doesn't change. It's still centimeters, meters, kilometers, and so forth. What do these ticks mean right here? They're equal. So what is this shape called? Yeah, equilateral. This is an isosceles. Okay, so for this one, I could be fancy and do 4.3 times 4.9 times 3 because they're all equal. But as I was saying, just do the simplest way. You can't lose with this simple method. Okay, and then you get 14.7. What's my unit? Centimeters. Right. So just add the 3 sides. Okay. This one. Okay, this one. How many sides do you see in this arrow? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, that's right. So when I add, how many numbers should I add up together? 7, because there's 7 sides. Whoa, rocket science. So I know this is 5.1 because this is 5.1. Notice there's 3 ticks here, 3 ticks here. So it means it's equal. How long is this side? 0.9, because this is 0.9. This is 0.9. 0.9. Okay. But I don't know how long this part is. Sorry? How do I figure out how long is this? Pythagorean theorem. So your hint is because looking at this is a right angle triangle. So when I do Pythagorean theorem, I cannot do this whole triangle. I can only do half. Okay? In tomorrow's lesson, when we do surface area and volume, keep that in mind. It has, like, you're always halving a triangle because you need the right angle triangle to do Pythagorean theorem. So if I were to redraw this, all right, I'm just redrawing this so that I can, it's a little easier to see. Okay, so this bottom part is 2.2 centimeters. Okay, we know that's given. But how long is this part? Ooh. 1.35. Petro, how did you get that? Yeah, so this part right here is another 0.9. So remember, it's half of this. So if you do 0.9 plus 0.9 plus 0.9, which gives you the whole length of this, and then half of it is 1.35. Okay, so that's why this right here is 1.35, not just 0.9, not 1.8. Okay. Again, keep in mind, half a triangle. We'll be doing that a lot today and tomorrow. Okay, so now I need to find that length right there, which is C. So C squared equals A squared plus B squared. Since I'm looking for the hypotenuse, I'm adding. Cyrus, you paying attention? Okay, let's copy it down. 1.35. Okay, so C squared equals 2.2 times 2.2 plus 1.35 times 1.35. Remember, square means 1.35 times 1.35, not times 2. So you get 6.6625. So when you square root it, C is 2.6. What's my unit here? Centimeters, again, because it's a length. Okay, I did all that math. Am I done the question? No, not even close. The question was asking me what is the perimeter. So all I did was I found this length. So finally, to find my perimeter, I'm going to add 7 numbers because that's what Annie told me. 0.9 plus 5.1 plus 0.9 plus 2.6 plus another 2.6 plus 0.9 plus 5.1. Okay. Again, I had people do like, okay, twice of this, twice of this, twice of this, but then they twice this as well. So that's why I say, don't worry about the fancy mancy stuff. Just add the number of sides. People lose silly marks because they try to be fancy or save time. But you have plenty of time, so just be very careful with these questions so you don't lose silly marks. And you get 18.1 units, still centimeters because it's just perimeter. You're still talking about the length. Okay, so right now we're combining what we did in the last 2 classes. Okay, so with that same logic, can you guys try this one? Yeah, try it now. Okay, shouldn't take you more than 3 minutes for this question. So take 3 minutes, try this. Okay, so let's take up this question now. So I'm missing this length right here. So I need to do Pythagorean theorem. I see a right angle triangle over here. So I'm going to use 5 and a 4, and I'm going to add because I'm looking for the hypotenuse. In terms of format, notice how I wrote it. C squared equals the 25 plus the 16. And then as soon as I put that square root sign on, it changes to just C. A lot of times I see people still write C squared equals square root 41. Okay, so that's bad formatting. So when you square root it, at the end it's just C equals 6.4. Yeah.
Will we have to format it on the test?
I just don't want to see this. Okay, you can skip steps if you want. Like I don't need every single step, but if I see this, I am gonna take half a mark off because it's not true. Okay, otherwise I would have to square root it again if I was. Okay, so make sure once you square root, take off that square. Same thing on this side. If I look at just this triangle right here, the length of this is also 4 because this is 4. That means this is also 4. So 4 and 2. And when you square root it, you get the 4.5 as the hypotenuse. Okay. So I need the perimeter. How many sides am I adding up? 6 dimensions, but how many sides? 4, right? So this, and this. Okay, so just the 4 sides on the outside. So 6.4 plus, this is 10. This whole side is 10 plus 4.5 plus this on the bottom is 7. Right? So my perimeter is 6.4 plus 10 plus 4.5 plus 7, 27.9 meters. Okay, but I'm not done the question. If you read the question again, it's asking you for the costs. So the border is $20.50 per meter. I need 27.9 meters. So what do I do with these two numbers? Yep. Yeah, multiply it. And then? Yeah, and also the tax. So make sure when you do the work, read all the numbers. The numbers will mean something. So your cost would be 27.9 times $20.50 per meter, which gives you $557.95. But as Petro was saying, we can do the shortcut, times it by 1.13 for tax. Okay. So your total, your grand total, yes, tax. I hate tax. Everybody hates tax. $646.30. Oops, 1 second. I got this as my answer. If you write all this, I am going to take half a mark off again. Okay? Unless you show me in person how to break a penny. Then I'll give you that half a mark back. Just for that half a mark. Alright? Otherwise, this round to 2 decimal places because we're talking about money. Yeah. Good question. No rounding until the final. So do not. Did I? Square root 20. Oh, 4.47? It's $1 difference? Oh, okay. So my bad. So yes. So do not round until the final. So I shouldn't have round here. I should write 4.47 and this as this one is fine. So 6.4 and 4.47. So then when you multiply, you'll get a more accurate answer. Okay. Oh, so there's a special name for this type of figure. Yeah, good. Yes, you read the. Yeah. These are called composite shapes. So the definition for composite shape is 2 or more shapes put together. Okay, so here's a small definition for you. Okay, so a composite shape is 2 or more shapes put together. In this case, what shapes do I see? Triangle and a square. Anybody else? 2 triangles and a still square. Dikshin? You feel like it's a rectangle. Can we be more accurate if it's a rectangle or square? Mr. Papusa, since you're here, you know the rule is whoever comes into my room has to answer a math question.
Absolutely. I feel like a rectangle today as well.
It's a rectangle. See? He didn't even read the question and he knows it's a rectangle. 5 and 4. Yeah.
It's just
What's another word for circumference? What does circumference mean?
what?
Petro. Okay, so as you can hear, the whole class corrected you. Perimeter. Perimeter of a circle. Okay, so it's just a fancy name for perimeter of a circle. It's so special that they get a circumference. See how much fancier it sounds? Alright, so circumference. There's two formulas for circumference. C equals 2 pi r, or C equals pi d, not pi r square. Pi r square is not circumference. Alright, so either this or this. What's the difference between these two formulas? Yeah, r stands for radius, and d is diameter. And as Petro already said, the connection between them is times 2. Okay. So this half of the distance right here, this is r, and if you do the full distance right here, okay, that's d. Okay, so half is r. Here, okay, so that's r, and then the whole distance here. There, I think that's more obvious. Yeah, there we go. That's d. Okay, so depending on what you're given, you need to know what you should use. Okay, so let's try this one then. Actually, no, let's do this one first. Okay, so since did I give you radius or diameter here? Radius. So C equals 2 pi r. Oh, by the way, what is pi? 3.14. That's fine. Just use 3.14 and then 12.5. Okay. On your calculator, you actually have that pi button. If you want to be fancy-manchy, you can do pi, and it's 3.141592654. But to keep you from going insane, we can just use 3.14. Okay. So 3.14 times 12.5 times 2, 78.5. What's my unit? Meter. Remember, it's still perimeter. It's still perimeter, so it's meter. Okay. Let's try this. I'm given a diameter, so I'm going to use pi d. So 3.14 times diameter 25, and let me do this math in my head. Okay, I'm gonna guess 78.5. Wow. How come my mental math is so good? Other than that. Okay, remember the connection between them? Remember the connection. 25. So radius is 12.5. So your diameter is 25. So in this case, I get the same answer. So I didn't. My mental math is not that good with decimals. So notice it's the same, because one gave you the radius, one gave you the diameter. If you double that, it's just 25. So it's the same circle. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can work backwards then. What about this one? I give you the circumference is 100. All right. So I want to find the radius. So C equals 2 pi r. All right. I know my circumference is 100 equals 2 times pi times r. So what do I do to solve for r? Yep. Yeah, divide by 2 pi. So notice right here, this is just multiply and multiply. So when I move it over, I divide. So 100 divided by 2 times pi divided by 2 pi, like this. I get 15.9. So radius is 15.9, and my unit, meters. Okay. Can you guys try this one? Try this one. Yeah. When you do this on the calculator, make sure you do 100 divided by 2 pi in brackets, because otherwise it will think that you want to do 100 divided by 2 times pi. Okay, so make sure you do that 2 pi in brackets. Okay, can you guys try this one? Okay, what did you guys get for diameter? Okay, who has an answer for me? Yusuf, you look like you have an answer. Okay, you can pick somebody then. Who looks like they have an answer? Dick Shan. You're nominated. You don't have an answer?
I can't figure out how to use file, but
Yeah, you can just use 3.14. Mohini.
What?
What?
3.2.
3.2 millimeters. Good job. Yeah, so it's just 10 divided by 3.14. And the answer, 3.2 millimeters. Good job. Yeah. Okay, so remember there's two formulas. One is 2 pi, one is pi d. 2 pi r, one is pi d. So depending on what you're looking for, that's what you would do. Okay. We're doing work. Okay. I'm skipping this one for this question is homework. So I'm skipping it for now. Okay, so all of that was just perimeter. So all we did so far is perimeter. We're moving on to area now. This is where you guys, this is what you guys were saying. Pi r square. So pi r square is for area of a circle. Okay, and notice in the formula, it's using r, okay? So if I give you diameter, you know that you have to divide it by 2 to get radius. Okay. So let's do this one then. Find the area of this circle. Pi r square. Okay, try this one. Annie, let's try this one. Finding the area of the circle now. Okay, what's my radius? Okay, so on your calculator, yeah, because I gave you the diameter, but my formula asks for radius, so you have to divide it by 2.
I divided by 5.
Okay, so on your calculator, make sure you do 3.14 times 12.5, and then what? 3.14 times 12.5 times what? Square or simply just times another 12.5. Okay, so you can either do this button and then square, or just another 12.5. And you get this. How many of you got 490? What's your unit though? Square. That's right. Square, square, square. This is the only time where your unit changed from centimeters to centimeter square. I'll on the test I'll tell you how many decimals to carry. Alright. Similarly, this one I tell you area and I want to find the radius. Okay, so how do I know if I should use a equals pi r squared or the c equals 2 pi r? Because of what you're given. Alright, so since you're given area, I know I should use the area formula. Okay, so now I know that area is 60, pi is 3.14. Okay, so think back to chapter 1 where we solve for this. Okay, to isolate r, it means I have to move that 3.14 by dividing. So 60 divided by 3.14, I get 19.108 equals r squared. Okay, just like when we did Pythagorean theorem, what do? Square root it. So when we square root that, we get 4.4. What's my unit? Meters. Good job. Because it's radius, it's a length. So even though we're dealing with area, we were looking for the radius, which is meters. Okay. Let's see. Okay. 2 more. Yeah. Actually, even 1 more. Okay, let's do this. Okay. Okay, so area of triangle. What's the formula for area of triangle? Yes, there's a divided by 2 under. A lot of people forget about that divided by 2. If you just do base times height, that's a rectangle. So make sure you divide it by 2. What's wrong with my example right here? Yep. Square. Remember area. Okay. So base, which is 5, times height, which is 6, and then divided by 2. Right. This triangle right here, I only have one number. I only have a 7. Okay. But it's, what type of triangle is this? Equilateral. So this is 7, this is 7, this is 7. So I know my base is 7 centimeters, which is this part right here. I know that's 7. All right, but what's my height? Good job. Whenever you don't know the height or the slanted height, it's Pythagorean theorem. So using this triangle right here, okay, it's a right angle triangle. I know that this is 7. So I'm looking for this side right here, so I'll say B. So B squared equals C squared minus A squared. What numbers am I using? What minus what? Minus? 3.5. Where did we get 3.5 from? Yes, see, you guys were paying attention. Good job. Good for you. Okay. This whole thing is not a right angle triangle. We can only use Pythagorean theorem on right angle triangles. So if the bottom whole thing is 7, that means this part alone is 3.5. Okay, so be mindful of that part. This is the tricky part. So make sure you don't get tricked. So 49 minus 3.5 square, 36.75. So square root 36.75. So B is 6.06. Well, Petro caught me last time. He says, don't round until final answer. So we shouldn't round. Okay, try to keep at least 2 decimal places before your final answer. So I did that. All I did was find a height. So I still have to find the area. So area equals base times height divided by 2. So my base, now I look at the big picture. I look at the big picture again, not just half the triangle. So how long is the base? 7. How long is the height? 6.06 divided by 2. Divided by 2, 21.2. And my unit? Centimeters square. So you see, like with these type of questions, it's easy, but you can lose so many half a marks if you have the unit wrong. Each wrong unit, half a mark off. Yeah.
And you want us to get that.
Yes. No, I want you guys to get that. I want you guys to keep those half marks. Alright. Okay, so I think it's a long enough video, 42 minutes on perimeter and area. Your homework, the 2 pages as in front and back, Make sure, I am doing homework check again. Make sure you have these 2 questions done. Okay. Yeah, so up to this page. So any questions that we didn't do? Any questions that we skipped? So like for example, this one, these ones, okay? And especially these 2 right here. You have to know how to calculate the area of composite figures. Alright. What's the easiest way to do this one? Okay, what composite shapes do you see here? A rectangle and a triangle. Alright, so you would subtract the area of this. Okay, subtract the area of this triangle. So find the area of the rectangle, subtract the area of the missing triangle. Where's the rectangle? Oh, here. There. Yeah. Alright. And then what about this one? What shapes do you see here? Circle?
Not a circle.
Use your imagination. It's supposed to be a circle. Now I feel hurt. Alright, you see a circle? What else do you see? Triangle and a rectangle, right? So what do you do with the triangle and a rectangle? The area of those 2, you're gonna... Are you subtracting? Adding, yeah. You're adding the area of the rectangle plus the area of the triangle. And then what are you going to do with the circle? Subtract the area of the circle because it's hollow. Alright, so just to give you guys some idea so that you can start on these when you get home. Okay, so what's for homework again for the like third time. 2 pages, back to back, double side pages. Okay. I didn't think I need to be so specific. Huh? Okay, so there, and make sure you have units.